Let me tell you about Sophia Moreau. 35 years old, co-founder and original CTO of Lumina Health, the telemedicine platform that went from a dorm room idea in 2017 to a $1.2 billion valuation in 6 years, serving 42 million patients across 50 states and 3 countries. What the private equity firm acquiring Lumina didn't know, until the final desperate week of due diligence, was that Sophia wasn't just the quiet, brilliant technical co-founder who built every single line of code that made the company actually work. She still owned 34% of the company. From the original seed round, fully vested. With 10x super voting rights written into the founder agreement the night they incorporated, when they were too drunk on cheap beer and ambition to imagine anyone would ever try to screw each other. And on the day the CEO announced that his 26-year-old son, a former frat president with a marketing degree, 0 technical experience, and a resume that read like a LinkedIn fever dream, would be replacing Sophia as CTO to bring fresh energy and modern thinking to the leadership team, Sophia sent one single email that killed the entire $1.2 billion acquisition, wiped out the CEO's entire net worth, destroyed his reputation forever, and turned his nepotism into the most expensive, most public, most delicious cautionary tale in the entire history of health tech. This is the full, unfiltered, no details spared story of how one quiet co-founder used the shares she never sold to destroy the man who tried to steal her company, her legacy, her life's work, and became the most feared name in startup investing for a generation. Buckle up, this one is long. This one is vicious. This one is 100% pure, concentrated justice. Let's go all the way back to the beginning, because this story deserves every single detail. Stanford dorm room, building 550, room 214. 2 19-year-old sophomores who should have been studying for midterms, but were instead building a telemedicine platform because Sophia's mom had waited 8 hours in in rural Oregon with a kidney stone, and Sophia decided the entire American healthcare system was broken and she was going to fix it. Sophia Moreau, the quiet, scary smart computer science prodigy who could code in her sleep, who had already turned down Google, Facebook, and Palantir internships because I want to build something that actually helps people, not just makes rich people richer. Ethan Caldwell, the golden boy business major with a Stanford pedigree, perfect pitch deck, perfect hair, perfect smile, and the ability to make anyone believe anything if you look them in the eye long enough. They met in an entrepreneurship class. Sophia was the only one who actually built the project instead of just making slides. Ethan saw her demo and said, "Holy shit. We're going to be billionaires." Sophia laughed and said, "I just want to help people not die waiting for a doctor." Ethan said, "We can do both." They were perfect together. Sophia built the entire MVP in 6 weeks. A functioning telemedicine platform with video calls, prescription delivery, insurance integration, and HIPAA compliance. In 6 weeks. While taking a full course load. Ethan raised $500,000 from his dad's rich friends in 3 days. They incorporated on a Tuesday night in the dorm lounge, eating cold pizza and drinking warm beer. 50-50 as equity. They pinky swore it would always stay that way. Then Ethan said, "We should bring in my roommate Liam as head of growth." Sophia didn't love it, but Liam was smart, hustled, and had grown his Instagram meme page to 500K followers, so they gave him 16%. Sophia went to 42%. Ethan went to 42%. They got into Y Combinator that summer. Paul Graham himself told Sophia, "You're the real deal. Don't let anyone push you out." She laughed and said she never would. They raised a $4 million seed at $20 million pre-money. Sophia turned down a $2 million offer from another YC company for her shares. She believed. They raised Series A at $80 million pre, Series B at $300 million. Series C talks started at $1.2 billion valuation. Sophia was still CTO. She had built every major feature, every security layer that passed FDA audits, every integration with every major insurance company, every AI diagnostic tool that made doctors trust the platform with actual human lives. She had worked 100-hour weeks for 6 years straight. She had missed her sister's wedding because she was fixing a critical security vulnerability on the wedding day. She had missed her best friend's baby shower because she was on call for a system outage. She had missed her own grandmother's funeral because the company was in the middle of a funding round and Ethan said, "We need all hands on deck." She had done it all because she believed. Because Ethan kept saying, "We're in this together, forever. You and me, Soph." Because they were family. Because they were going to change the world. Then came the private equity acquisition talks. Silver Lake wanted to buy Lumina for $1.2 billion cash. The deal was perfect. Sophia would make $408 million on her shares. Ethan would make $380 million. Liam would make $180 million. They were going to be rich. They were going to be legends. They were going to prove that nice guys and girls could win. Then, in March, during due diligence, Ethan called a leadership meeting. Sophia was in the middle of fixing a critical security vulnerability that could have exposed millions of patient records if it went live. She joined the Zoom 10 minutes late, still in a hoodie, hair in a messy bun, eyes bloodshot from 48 hours without sleep. Ethan was already talking. He had that perfect smile plastered on his face. Team, I have an incredibly exciting announcement. As we prepare for this next chapter under Silver Lake's ownership, we're making some strategic leadership changes to bring fresh energy, modern thinking, and new perspectives to the executive team. My son, Hunter Caldwell, will be joining us as Chief Technology Officer, effective immediately. Hunter graduated from USC last year with honors in marketing and has been doing incredible work in the Web3 wellness space. He's already crushed it with some NFT projects and has a huge following on TikTok. This is a massive win for Lumina's future. Silence, dead fucking silence. Sophia stared at the screen. Hunter Caldwell was on the call, waving like a golden retriever who had just been told he was a good boy. Super excited, guys. Let's absolutely crush it. CTO gang. He actually made the little finger gun gesture. Sophia muted her microphone. Then she said very calmly, Ethan, can we speak privately? Ethan's smile didn't waver. Of course, Soph, right after the meeting. She unmuted. No, she said. Now. The call went sideways. Sophia asked the question everyone was thinking. Is Hunter replacing me? Ethan's smile finally cracked. Just a little. We're transitioning you to an advisory role, Soph. You've done incredible work building the technical foundation, but we need someone with Hunter's energy to take us into the future. Someone who understands modern consumers, Web3, the metaverse, Gen Z. Hunter, grinning like an idiot. Yeah, I'm super into decentralized healthcare, you know? Like, what if patients own their medical records as NFTs? Sophia ended the call. She didn't scream, she didn't cry. She opened the cap table, 34%, still there, fully vested. 10x voting rights from the original founder agreement, written the night they incorporated, when they were too drunk on cheap beer and ambition to imagine anyone would ever try to screw each other. She opened the acquisition term sheet. Section 7.2. The transaction requires approval by a majority of the voting shares. She still controlled 34% of the voting power. Ethan and Liam together had 31%. Hunter had 0%. The deal couldn't close without her. She opened her email, typed one line. Hit send to Ethan, Liam, the entire board, Silver Lake's managing partner, and every investor who had ever told her she was the heart and soul of Lumina. Subject. Section 7.2. Voting requirement, acquisition approval, withheld. Ethan, I'm exercising my voting rights under the original founder agreement. I do not approve the acquisition. Also, tell Hunter he can keep the CTO hoodie. It'll look great with his NFT collection. Best. Sophia Moreau, co-founder and 34% shareholder, Lumina Health. Then she turned off her phone, removed the battery, ordered Uber Black, and went to get the best ice cream of her entire life. The explosion was immediate and nuclear. Ethan called 97 times. Liam showed up at her apartment with a bottle of 1982 Chateau Petrus and actual tears streaming down his face. Soph, whatever they're paying you to do this, we'll triple it. Please. She let him stand in the hallway. You gave your son my job, she said calmly. You took my company. Now I'm taking something back. She closed the door. Silver Lake's managing partner called personally an hour later. Miss Moreau, we weren't aware of your ownership stake or the super voting rights. This is highly unusual. We're prepared to make you whole. Name your price and we'll write the check today, she laughed. You can't afford me. The truth was, Silver Lake could afford her. But Ethan couldn't. Because if the acquisition died, the company would be worth maybe $250, $300 million in a down round, and Ethan's shares would be worth less than his watch collection. He was completely, spectacularly, royally trapped. 3 days later, Ethan and Liam showed up at her apartment together. No more tears. Just two very tired, very broke-looking men holding a new term sheet, a buyout offer. $600 million, cash, for her 34%. Plus full reinstatement as CTO with a $10 million annual salary. Plus a permanent board seat with veto rights over any C-level hires. plus a public apology from Ethan admitting he committed fraud by hiding her ownership stake from investors and attempted to install his unqualified son as CTO, plus a $50 million donation to a Women in Tech scholarship fund in her name. She made them wait on the doorstep for 45 full minutes while she read every line in complete silence. Then she looked up. "You forgot to read the fine print," she said. "We know," Ethan whispered, voice cracking for the first time in public. "Good," she said. She signed. 2 weeks later, the money hit her account, $600 million. She bought her parents a villa in the south of France, put her little sister through medical school, debt-free, plus a trust fund that would make her untouchable. Started the Moreau Foundation for underrepresented founders in health tech with a $100 million endowment. Bought the original Lumina office building and turned it into a free co-working space for women-led startups. With a massive gold plaque in the lobby that reads, "Never give up your voting shares. They're worth more than money. They're worth your soul." Sophia Moreau, Ethan and Liam? The acquisition collapsed completely. The company raised a brutal down round 6 months later at a $180 million valuation. Their shares got absolutely crushed in the recap. Ethan left tech and now runs a leadership coaching business for visionary founders that has 12 clients and a waiting list of 0. Liam sells a $9,997 course called How to Scale Your Startup to $100 million. To people who don't know, he once had the chance to be worth $400 million and blew it on his best friend's loyalty, Hunter Caldwell. He tried to launch an NFT project called Health Punks. It sold 3 tokens. He now lives in his parents' basement and streams Fortnite. Neither Ethan nor Liam has been invited to a single tech event in 4 years. But every single founder who's ever been pushed out now has one line in their cap table that makes investors sweat when they see it. They call it the Moreau Clause. And it is written in blood. And that, my friends, is how one quiet, brilliant co-founder turned 6 years of betrayal into a $600 million fortune, and made her backstabbing co-founder the most expensive cautionary tale in health tech history. If this story made your justice receptors absolutely explode, do me a solid right now, smash that subscribe button for Tangled Yarns, drop a like, turn on notifications, and share it with every founder you know. Because here, every story has a twist. And sometimes that twist is worth $600 million. I'm Brett, and I'll see you in the next one.